Hey medical coding family, how's everybody doing? Good to see everybody. We were just live on TikTok. I don't know if anybody saw that. I was working on prepping today's questions and playing Harry Potter in the background because I like a little, background noise while I'm working. And that always is fun to listen to because I've heard it a million times and I can tune it out but still enjoy listening to the story. So anyway, how's everybody's Friday? TGIF, right? I'm going to get chat up here for just a second. Can everybody hear me? Hey, Go-Kart. Did you get your electricity back? Hey, Janelle. Good to see you, love. Hey, Cassandra, Mabel, Kimberly, Christine. Micah, good to see you. Madness, Christine, Shannon, good to see you. Kimberly, Kanisha, good job. She was over there on TikTok. Hey, Kimberly. Thanks, Twinkle. And Go-Kart. Pin that. Good job. No, not yet. Aw. Y'all send some positive thoughts Go-Kart's way. They were hit with those hurricanes and have been without a power for I don't know how long now. A really long time. Several days. Hey, Diane. Good to see you guys. How's everybody doing? Anybody got questions about anything before we get started for today? If you guys are on my website, just to let you guys know, I do have a new workshop coming up October 20th. If you guys want to participate, it's on the main page. You just come over here to Medical Coding by Jen, click on the book now, and click the 20th, then click the 2 p.m., and then the word next. And you can be put in for the workshop. We're going to do 75 questions that are brand new. And the point of it is to pretend like you're actually taking your medical coding certification exam. You're going to be hit instantly with 75 questions you've never seen before. And you need to find the answers in 2 minutes per question. So that's what the point of the workshop is. And even if you can't attend, the replay of the video is the same link to get into it that day, and all you do is click on the link and you can go back and watch it for 90 days with the pre-purchase. Don't forget, we have a ton of resources here. If you go to the resource tab, go to the FAQs, you can find a ton of helpful information about how to join our Discord study group. You can find out what Discord is, what it looks like. This is all of our rooms that we have inside our Discord room. Like, we've got a fur baby room, we've got CIC practice exam question room, we've got HEDIS measures. Every single book, like the CPT book, has a room, anatomy has a room, CPMA has practice exam questions, CPC has practice exam questions. There's even a job assessment room and a job resources room. People selling their books has a room. There's a ton of little rooms in there. And once you get into the room, you can search at any point in that room for any kind of conversation or anything you're looking for. And it'll bring up every conversation or photo about those rooms. So, super helpful. The third sentence down is about where do I find practice, where is your best list of free resources? That's super helpful. This is where you'll find your access to the practice exam questions monthly that we get from AAPC. You can click on that link, and if you happen to have an AAPC membership, we have access to practice exam questions that are given to us monthly. Oh, if I knew my password. Oh yeah, I got caps on, don't I? I had caps on because I was doing prep for the exam, or the questions for tonight. Oh my Lord. Well, I can't tell now if I have caps on or not. Gotta love freaking computers. Yes, caps is on. Okay. So, this should be, do I have numbers on? 10. There goes the ads on YouTube. Skip those ads. So when you click on that link on my website, it'll bring you here to the exam library. You can do the drop-down menu and go back to last year's exams. They're only going to give you access to the last 12 months exams, but if you want to go do October's right now and go on and get the answers for it, because it will disappear and be removed in a couple of weeks. That's super handy to do. You can download the magazines here, but you can do the practice exam questions, and they do give you access to all the rationales and everything, to all the questions. So super handy dandy. In the old format, the way we used to see their practice exam questions, which is super easy to highlight and secure somewhere else. But I don't recommend going through these and doing all of them, because you'll need them when you do get your certification. But like, if you just want to do them and see what the questions are for like October of 2024, you can click on the exam, and you get 3 attempts before they lock you out for an hour. But what I like to do is just, you know, click a A for all the answers. That way I know I'm not going to pass, but I at least get to see all the questions and the rationale, right? And nobody's going to keep score or, you know, care whether it took you 10 times to pass this and get your CEU. These are your practice areas, but they're totally free for you guys if you are an AAPC member. And if you want to get access to and utilize some of your free membership stuff, this is super handy dandy. Then you hit grade, and there we go. We got 3 answers right, but I've got every single question and I have every single rationale, right? And you can do an easy print, which is really kind of cool. So if you hit that, I wonder if it'll show you guys what it looks like. Not sure. if it will. Open link in an incognito tab. Sometimes that works better than other things. You never know about AAPC, but sometimes I find the incognito stuff works better. Anyway, the easy print does look cool. Maybe I have to pass it before it'll do that, but all you have to do if you want to print this is just highlight everything and then hit Control P. Hit the wrong thing. Control P, and then it'll bring up the print thing for you. And it'll print all of them for you, and then you can save them on your hard drive as a PDF if you wanted to. So the magazine is super helpful if you want more bonus practice exam questions, and then you can play around with them prior to the exam. But there is 12 months, so 12 times 20 is a whole lot of practice exam questions that are totally free for you guys. Now, not all of them are worth a darn. Like, this is stupid about their survey. It's not a question that they would ask about on the exam, but anyway, some of them are kind of cool. Like, this is cool. Which one would you bill for a Holter monitor? That one's cool. Anyway, kind of handy dandy. Don't forget about this area, and again, you found that on my website underneath the resources tab under the FAQs, and then the questions about where is your best list of free resources. The very last link is our monthly magazine. Hey Tasha, good to see you. Your power came back on Saturday. That's great, Diane. Can you explain 54150? And where's the here we go. 5, what'd you say? 514. Get my other one. Chloe, what are you doing? Five one. Five one 4. Five 4. Ooh, I'm bad dyslexic today. I am severely dyslexic today. For some reason, it is just kicking my butt. All right. 50. So my notes say that 51450. This one is using a clamp. Sometimes they call it a gimino or a plastic bell. Really kind of cool. But it's a circumcision using a clamp or other device with regional, dorsal, or a ring block. That means a dorsal or ring block means we use lidocaine and numbed the area up, right? 54160 is a circumcision surgically excised other than a clamp. That means it does not include a clamp. I should really have a line through that to note that there is no clamp. You're doing a device or dorsal slit neonate. Neonates are only infants that are 28 days or less. But this is just taking a actual pair of scissors and a set of tweezers, and you're taking that foreskin and just cutting it off with scissors. And there's no block on this one, so there's no numbing. You're just taking tweezers and just cutting that extra skin off with some scissors or a scalpel. And then 61 is for older than 28 days. And I just kind of grouped these two together and put other than clamp. And then this one is the only one that's got a clamp. The clamp is like a ring, but it's twice as thick. You slide it down over the area and push that skin back, and then you twirl a little thing around the ring clamp, and that's what cuts that excess skin off. So that's what a clamp is. Sometimes those little things don't work very well, or they cut unevenly around, and you end up having to do it manually with scissors or a scalpel yourself, just because the clamp doesn't work very well. It depends on the clamp and the baby and all that kind of stuff, but it's just kind of interesting. But that's the differences. Does that help? Mabel, does that help? Can we do some lab and path? We do have some lab and path stuff that I think that's going to help today too. It's been a week. Aww. Is the questions on Pocket Prep similar to the exam? Yes. Not all of them, but yes. I think they do way too many hit picks questions. We only have 3 on the exam. So when you're in Pocket Prep, I was on there a minute ago. Do I still have Pocket Prep up? I think I do. So, why are you looking like that? Okay. You guys can see that, I hope. Yeah, there we go. Okay. So when you're in Pocket Prep and you're playing around with questions, be sure when you come down here to build a quiz, refresh. All right. And you do the drop-down menu, uncheck. You know, you don't have to do so many of those hit picks questions. We only have 3 on the exam. So I like to concentrate on the guideline questions. Those are great, but some of those end up being a little bit too much hit picky. But the guideline questions and E&M questions, and then the cases are kind of cool too. And then you come down here and then pick how many questions you want to do, and then hit start quiz. But it's kind of cool that you can You can build your own exam however you want to do it. And if you only want lab path, evaluation management, coding guidelines and cases, look at that. And then you can build an exam, 200 questions, and then hit start. And I don't know why I had it. Oh no. All right, hold on. My browser is not ever happy with this. But anyway, you can do your own questions. You can skip through them. It's really kind of cool. And then they tell you the answers and rationale, which I love. Don't forget that when you're here on this page, oh, come on. Don't forget you can click on this review button. I don't know if you guys can see it now that I've messed up the page. Let me hit refresh. Hit refresh. I want it bigger. I need it bigger. You're so unhelpful. There we go. A little bit bigger. Hit refresh again. Here we go. When you're here, you don't even have to hit build an exam or anything. You can go way up here at the top and hit review. And if you've done and answered all the questions at least once, you'll have access to all 750 right here. And then you just click on the top one and it'll take you from the top one to all of them. It'll show you the question and the rationale open all in one area. So it's kind of cool if you ever wanted to just see all 750 questions in one area. But you have to have at least tried to answer all of the questions for them to show up. They do 50 per page or whatever, and then this just makes it easier that if you ever wanted to copy, paste, and put in a Word document, you could, because then you've got the whole question and the answer all in one area. Anyway, don't forget they do have a grant also too, so if you guys have been on my website, and you come there to that same resources tab underneath the FAQs that says what is your best free resources. Down here at the bottom they do have a free Pocket Prep grant application that you can fill out right there too. And then that link will take you there and you can fill out the grant application. Don't forget that if you are also in the affected hurricane area, you have eligible benefits under AAPC also. Where am I at? Here. Go to the link right above it on my website that goes to free scholarship application right there. Click there. There is a disaster assistance application right there on AAPC's website, and I bet if you do a disaster support application right here for AAPC, you could get money back or who knows what, because the other one, the hardship fund, is for free renewal books, study guides, and that kind of stuff. But you guys in the hurricane area, you know, no electricity for whatever, I mean, fill back up your refrigerator, I don't know what, but they have a humanitarian aid fund, so disaster support. So please be sure and fill this out with any need whatsoever. I mean, some people don't have insulin right now. You know, there's a lot of stuff going on. Just no electricity. You need help with getting a generator, whatever. I don't know. The car has been washed away, whatever. you pay for membership into our association, and that is readily available, and they have the funds, of course. So don't forget, you can fill that out. And you can find that again on my website. Just going from the home page, clicking on the resources drop down menu, go to the FAQs, and then the third sentence down, best list of free resources, and then right down here is the AAPC scholarship application right there. But that also does disaster relief. All right, now what was I doing? Where's today? There's today. Let me get back onto chat and see what else I've been missing. Okay, we did Mabel's question, and then we did Shannon's question about Pocket Prep. Oh, and if you use the link on my website for Pocket Prep, which is super handy dandy, I have it on the first main page right there. Click on the pink one that's shaking right there. That'll take you to Pocket Prep. And then you just click on Medical. And then the top link is AAPC, CPC right there. And then this will take you there. They do all 18 subjects, of course. And they do have a pass guarantee and 750 practice exam questions for $40 for 3 months is great. So use my link, and we do get a couple of dollars from them if you do purchase anything. And then that money just goes back to you guys, because I give that back as YouTube memberships. Or I buy books or re-exam attempts for people. We spent, I know, $9,000 already on YouTube memberships, practice exam attempts, sending books to people that needed a new updated book. Not that they came with my notes or anything, but you know, they got a new book and then they could make their own notes themselves. But we've spent a lot of money helping out others too. So I use any little bit that we get from any of these sites like that to help out others too. All right. Can you explain how to skip questions on the exam? Yes, I can. Absolutely, Cassandra. Okay. Let me go back to AAPC's website. Where am I at? I am on this Pocket Prep page, right? Okay. So let's go to AAPC. So let me log on again. So if you've purchased any practice exam questions from AAPC, you're going to find your exams under courses and exams. You go there. Oops, y'all can't see what I'm seeing. Hold on. Hold on. Property. Oh, there we go. I need to go to properties. What are we at? There we go. Okay. So we've signed into AAPC. Sorry, the page looks like this when you get there. You sign in and then do the drop-down menu and go to courses and exams. And if you've bought any practice exam questions from AAPC, they will be loaded here. So let me find some that'll be like huge. All right. So COC practice exam questions right here are a lot like AAPC's. We're going to hit launch the exam. This is going to give us 50 practice exam questions, and then hit proceed. and then we'll hit I'm ready. So this is what the main page looks like in the practice exam question area. You can click this little bitty tiny up at the very, very top. It's 3 little lines, drop down menu, and then this gives you a list of every single question in the exam. They're divided up into areas because this is a COC practice exam questions, right? And then anatomy has 3 questions, medical terminology has 3 questions, coding guidelines only has 1, payment methodology has 6 questions, right? So I can go here and go straight to CPT code questions if I wanted to. I can do just 1 question, right? And hit submit the page. And then if I'm done and I've got to go pick up the kids from school, whatever I got to do, I can go to the last question in the exam down here under cases and go to number 5. And then that's where you'll find the submit exam tab on the right underneath the question. I don't know if you guys can see it. Let me make that bigger. There we go. See, it says right there, submit exam. And if I go to different questions, anywhere, it just says submit page instead of submit exam. But if you're at the actual last question, it'll say submit exam. And even if I've only answered 1 question, that's fine. I can hit submit exam. No one's going to keep track of how many times I took this exam, how many questions I answered, or what my scores are. I mean, it doesn't matter. To view your results, you view the results, of course. Then you show the correct answer and then click the tab that says show feedback. And this is how you see your rationale now. And so the answer should have been the more expensive procedure without the radiology. I knew it was going to be without the radiology. So I knew it had to be the 206 or the 270. I didn't look at anything in the question. I just picked the cheapest one just to see if I could get the answer correct. But it happened to be the more expensive procedure. If I knew my differences or my headers between the 206 and the 270, I probably could have gotten this one right, but I don't know those off the top of my head. Anyway, kind of cool. And you can play around with these exams all you want without, trying to, do all 50 questions. But learning how to play around in this area, because it is the actual testing area, no matter whether you take your exam in person or at a testing center, this is the exact screen and system that you're going to play around in when you take your exam. So you want to be able to at least purchase something. You've got to purchase some of these practice exam questions, and then you've got to play around in this area. You got to learn how to get into it. It's super helpful if you are taking a specialty exam and they put the medical record on one side and then your exam questions on the other side. How to navigate in here, how to bring up your RVU calculator if you're going to need it, how to look up a notebook paper if you need it, an E&M calculator if you need it, MDM, time-based, final code, critical care services, those kind of things. How do you use any of this stuff? How do you get back to the chart? Okay, I've used my E&M calculator, but then how do I get back to the chart? Figuring out how to use that. How to get rid of the chart if you don't want it and you only want to look at your questions. How to bring the chart back. Where is your timer? How do you know when your time is up for the exam? All that kind of stuff. Learning how to flag a question and come back to it. Learning how to find all your questions. This one just has like 6 cases that you got to do. And, that kind of stuff. I was doing this one. We got 21, 36, and 38 are the closest on the end, but they're divided by the 1. Interesting. And then we've got these, an A or a B. We got 3 of them that are A. you know will be an A. But yeah, learning how to utilize this system is super handy dandy. Go down to the last one. Answer the questions. We're gonna go an O or a 1. Be interesting. 272, 45, 46, 44, maybe. Submit exam. Yep, we'll submit it. And then finding your results, viewing your results, show your correct answers, show your feedback, show your correct answers, show your feedback. It was the 1, not the 0. I used similarities of those two diagnoses being the 41, but I picked the O because there was an O in the C answer. Got this one correct simply because I picked the cheaper of the two procedures. Instead of the 45 and the 48, I picked the 44, which was cheaper. Got it right. Don't even know what was going on in this. So, super cool. Figuring out how to play around in these is vital, but it's just that little tiny drop, 3 little lines up in the top left-hand corner. And then that will take you to all the answers or all the questions in the exam being put over here into this side. But it's those 3 little lines up there. I hope that's helpful. Getting back to chat so I can see what you said. Hope that was helpful, Cassandra. Couldn't figure it out how, and I didn't want to mess up or submit the wrong answers, and I wasn't ready. Yeah, you got to play around in that. So if you haven't purchased any practice exam questions, be sure to purchase some from AAPC. If you want the absolute cheapest set of practice exam questions that you can purchase from AAPC, let me show you one more thing. So if we're there, okay, if you are at AAPC's website, go to all certifications, then just click on CPC, it's fine. Over here in this sidebar right here, click down the drop-down menu that says Prepare for an Exam. Drop-down menu says Practice Exam Questions. Click that. And here you'll get this center thing right here in the center. It goes over every single certification. And this is where you would buy just the questions and nothing else. But if you're looking for some cheaper ones, go to Specialty. This drop-down menu has one for like family practice. This drop down menu that you guys can't see, it just does, it pops up and you guys can't see it. It has like, I don't know, 20 different certifications that are showing up on my menu. And if you pick CFPC, which I just picked, you could get 50 family practice, office visits, urinalysis, whatever you might run into in the doctor's office, dermatology, excisions, pap smears, anything that you would do in a regular practice, set of questions for $39.95. And then just purchasing this, throwing that into your shopping cart, gets you 50 practice exam questions for $40, and it covers a wide range of everything you might see on a CPC. Just saying, if you only wanted E&M, you could do CEMC, and that's all E&M questions for $40. There's a general surgeon GSC, and that's just general surgery.
Wait, Mommy.
And then there is this one for pediatrics.
Where are Jones and James at again?
They're in Fair, whatever. Far, I don't know. They're
Like,
Flagstaff. They're in Flagstaff. They're out romping in the woods. Oops, wrong one. I didn't mean to click that one. I meant to click this one. I can see where they're at on the Tesla app. Let's see. They must be driving back home. They are 30 miles away from Kingman, so they're on their way back home, but probably won't be here till 6:30. Ooh, I hope they make it to the charger. They got 18% battery, and they've still got 31 miles to go. Oh yeah, they're going to do just fine. Yep, they're good. Do you know a friend named Emma from the video games that Travis has? No. All right. So that is helpful. Bonus practice exam questions. All right. Get rid of that. Get back here to this. Check back into chat. I got my diploma from DeVry today. Awesome, Diane. I hope that's super cool. I know that was a lot of stress for you. Patrice, what'd she say? Okay, I'll have to check that out. For the scholarship, is there a wait list? Not that I'm aware of, Patrice. They're giving out, the scholarships are given out by your charter chapter. So if you've been participating in your monthly meetings with your charter chapter, you know, their webinars, their in-person exams, you know who your president is. They're the ones who pick out the winners. So hopefully you've been communicating with them. If you haven't, be sure to start participating in your monthly meetings to find that and who that is. You're just going to click on your menu. You're going to go to your local chapter, that drop-down menu, and then it'll have your events and things right here that'll be coming up. You should be getting emails from them letting you know when their next meeting is, but here's Las Vegas's next meeting right there and the date. It'll be this Saturday, and you should already be on their email list, getting emails, but you can even email them, but getting to where these people know who the heck you are is helpful, because, you know, if you know somebody and you know they need help paying for their membership or need new books or need more exam attempts, then they're the ones who pick the winners. So be sure to get to know who your local people are. Show up in their meetings. And you can reapply every 45 days or so. So I'm checking back into chat. You're very welcome, Rayanne. You're welcome, Shannon. On AAPC exam, they have some questions on angiography. Where is my workbook? An angiogram. and you're struggling with these, can I help with the terms? Yes. This is exactly the same as I had on the exam center, same question page and same layout. Awesome, good to know. The first 10 minutes was so confusing during the exam. I bet you've got to practice in their system and get into their practice exam questions. I don't know why chat is not showing up on the live today. That's so frustrating when that happens. Pop out chat, properties. Some days it's just stubborn as it can be. I don't know why. Do I have pop-out chat here? I do. Properties. Yes. Work. Paste. And refresh. I don't know why. Some days it just will not show up. I've got it all entered in there, but chat is not showing up for you guys, I don't think. These YouTube videos are very helpful. Oh, that's awesome. Nope, gotta take it again in a few weeks. Is that a cat in the background? Yes, I do have. I lost one cat. It was my dad's cat. And while I was roaming through the neighborhood looking for her, because she ran out of the house like a banshee for no reason, I met a lot of neighbors. And one in particular ended up dropping off 2 cats to my house while we weren't home. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. So anyway, we have some cats here. The practice and mocks test. I have actually around 15 mock tests in exam center. Panic attack. I thought money would be wasted if I failed, but luckily I got cleared and got an 85. Awesome. Yes, you can retake those practice exams as many times as you want. You actually got 3 free tests as part of your program. Awesome. Hey McNair, good to see you. You're not late. All right, guys. So for this first little exercise we're going to do is name the ending. If you were going to use a modifier on this particular code, or if you were going to need to times it, what would be the answer? Our code 11750. What code is that? And what kind of ending would we have on that code? 11750. Y'all can put it in chat. It's the ingrown toenail one. What kind of modifier would we use on this code? Does that make sense? So what's being asked? If you were at code 11720, it's required to have a modifier. What kind of modifier are you going to use? Or it could be that you're required to times it. But you guys tell me, 11720, what's required for this one? It's an excision of a nail bed matrix, partial or complete, ingrown or deformed nail for permanent removal. What does it require? There you go, Kimberly, you got it. Kimberly got it. Good job, good job. What about 99292? What does it require? Oops, sorry guys. We had 120 minutes. What does 99291 require? How would 99292 show up as an answer? There you go, if you had 120 minutes. Yeah, good job. What about 76705? What's going on with that one? 767. We have a limited result being reported due to the lack of IV contrast, and we're reporting for PS. What would be the answer for that one? what's going to be required for this one? 96705. Sorry about ads, in case you're getting ads. Nine 6705. Bonus points if you know what body part is being ultrasound in this particular one. Nine 6705. What would you do to this one? If you are billing for PS and you had limited results because you had no contrast. Spleen is great. If you're billing for professional services, knowing your acronyms and stuff like that is super helpful. If you're billing for professional services for 76705, what ending or modifier are you going to need? Would we times this? Would we add a 52 modifier since we didn't have the contrast? Would we add a 26, a TC? What are we doing, guys? I'm trying to see that you guys, when you look at the integumentary, you think fingers and toes. I need those modifiers. 99291, that one's an add-on code. It needs to be multiplied. This one is radiology. What happens in radiology? What modifier or anything would be needed for this? Same thing for the lab and path coming up. Without seeing an available answer in front of you, what should be going off in your head, even without possible answers in front of you? For like the first one, it's fingers and toes modifier, right? Second one, it's an add-on code. I know that one. That's one of Jen's favorite E&M codes because there's no time or MD. There's no MDM with it. It's only time. She likes that one. What should be going off about radiology? If you're billing for, well, if we look in its mama's code, the 76700, it's an ultrasound, real-time image documentation complete. Do ultrasounds include a contrast or not? 52 would not be included. And if you're billing for professional services, yep, the 26 is the only one that you need for this one. In this one, if it was ordered without contrast, no big deal. That's fine and dandy. Yep, we just need the 26 for it because we're billing for the professional service. All right. 86701. If we're in that area and you see the word outside in your exam question, what would be going off in your head? What answer are you going to be looking for? 86701. 86701. We've got HIV. HIV. And you see the word outside? Yeah. Absolutely. We're going to be looking for an answer that has that 90 modifier in it. Perfect. What about this one? 86235. Eight, 6, 2, 3, 5 is a nuclear antigen test. What would you do with this one? Yeah, very good. I didn't know this one for a long time. Well, it does have the word each in it, so you would times 2 it because they ordered 2 of the components listed in the parentheses. If they had listed the RNP with it, it would be times 3, you know. So it just depends on how many of whatever's in those parentheses that they're ordering. That's how many times you do this one. So really cool. Paying attention to the word each inside those descriptors, marking them wherever it might be hidden in that CPT code descriptor is super helpful. You'll know that you can times those. So very good. It doesn't automatically include all of those in one test. You do code each one that you do. Very good. Good job, guys. All right, what about these abbreviations? What does this one stand for? Good job.
So my friend Elaine.
What's the next one?
My friend Elaine said this. We could go together. This is for Halloween. I don't know if you get it, but I said, "Oh heck no."
It's not funny.
I know.
What that man did to all those people is awful. Good. Yes. What about this one? Hey, Angie. How's it going? Oh, you passed? Congratulations, Angie. Guys, did you see that in chat? Angie Baker, she passed her exam. Congratulations. Thank you so much for coming back to letting us know. Anything in there that you wish you'd have known? Oh, she's going to keep coming back. Are you going to take a second certificate, like CRC or CPMA? Diane says, tell us how. Yep, that's it. Good job. All right. If you were just playing around with this one, what do you think the answer would be? If you're looking for similarities, there's a lot of zeros at the end. The one abnormal one is the 5. The modifier is handy. 424s are in what area? Do we need RT modifiers in that area? We are under the salivary glands and ducts, right? 42410? Yeah. So do we have a right and left area in salivary glands? Would that make sense to have those? Then it would be a difference between A and B. Just pick one just to play with. The cheapest is A. I'm intrigued by all the zeros. And then there's only one that doesn't have a zero. Which is kind of interesting. 15 is a lateral lobe. We can also cut and save the facial nerve. So let's look at our question. If the nerve was involved, then it's B. If no nerve was involved, it's going to be just A. And if you look just from the bottom up, you do have the nerve being mentioned. So you know right away your answer is only going to be I wish I'd have known. But I'd say listen to Jen and her suggestions, and also Pocket Prep helps. It does, doesn't it? It shows you how to utilize the books, especially if you happen to have their ICD-10 book and their HitPix book. I don't recommend going through all their HitPix questions. It's a lot of searching for the answers inside that book, but all the ICD-10 ones and the CPT book ones with the page numbers where the answers are super helpful. Shows you how to use these manuals. It's not 10 because we did the nerve. That's why it's the 15. Indeed, it can be done. And I did it not wanting to learn how to medically code. I never wanted to be a coder. Never, ever, ever. And I don't want to know how to code. But I wanted to pass the exam. So you can do it. Let me make this. This one's going to be 2 pages long. We've got 2 of them that start off with the same answer. and then it's just whether we add another code with it or not, right? So I would pick it with just one code, and if I was just playing around, I'd pick C and move on to my next question, just simply because there's always a reason why they start off two answers the same way. They're going to give us 2 pages of notes to look at, and they're trying to push us to bill for an extra code. What is 466? What the heck is that? 46600? That looks like a mama code to go along with a child code. 466? Why would you put a smaller code after a larger code? Especially if they're in the same area. 466. 00 is a separate procedure. And then our 06 is a child code underneath the 00. So knowing that everything underneath the 00 code that is indented over farther than she is, knowing that everything she is up to the parentheses, where is that? Or the semicolons? The angioscope, that word is included in the 01, the 04, the 06, the 07, 08, 09, 10, 11, 12, yep. That angioscope is in all of them, all the way to 6615. That first word is in all of those codes. So they're just testing you to see if you know what's included in a code when another code is underneath it and scoochied over. That's all. I wouldn't bother reading anything. I'd just pick C and move on. All right. This one, again, we've got 2 with the same answer. Would we add integumentary to this or not? Probably not, right? So my answer would be A and move on to my next question. What do you guys think? Let me go on and give away some YouTube memberships before I forget. Let's give away some memberships to our YouTube channel to 5 winners. You'll get access to 30 days of our YouTube channel. Jessica, Angie, who just passed, Dove, Taylor, and Juanita. Awesome. So what you guys got let me go over here and show you guys. Yep. So if you're on my website, you go to the social media link pages and you go to the YouTube channel. What you guys got was free. The Join Now button right there. Becoming a member at $4.99. And what that gets you access to is if you come over here to the podcast, up there at that top little button, you get to come through all this. But the podcast, you get access to those. I'm reading out the E&M guidelines, and now I'm doing the 2025 guidelines, reading those out to you, showing you some examples. You also get access to the full playlist of a ton of stuff. Just click on the playlist tab, and then if you click down here at the very bottom where it says View Full Playlist, like underneath the CPT book prep page, you'll get to see over here to the side all the videos that I have listed for book prep. So if you're looking for just ones to do immunization book prep or E&M book prep or cardiovascular book prep, you can look for them named right there. And then that way you can just watch just me book prepping cardiovascular or whatever you're in the mood to do book prep. The ICD-10 guidelines are done too. I should be getting the new ICD-10 book anytime. And we'll start doing recording books. There's its playlist right down here. View the full playlist, and you get to watch me do all the guidelines book prep. But we're fixing to start those over again, and that's pretty cool. We'll start doing those in lives. We've got the advanced duck practice classes. Those were too cool. Those are 2 hours of tons of lessons with super hard practice exam questions, the ones that are tricky. The ones where maybe the process of elimination might get you on these. Stuff that shows you exactly what to look for in the exam questions. Those are super handy playbacks to watch. And of course, you've got access to all the old workshops that are older than 90 days. You can view that playlist by clicking that. It'll bring them up, like if you only want to watch all cardiovascular workshop where I did 75 questions just on cardiovascular, you can watch that video. And on and on. This is just all integumentary. Anyway, we've got a new workshop coming up that we're fixing to do too on October the 20th. And if you click the home page, this is where you can book that if you want to. And super easy. We're going to go 75 questions.
Linda Lou has become a member.
On all different areas of the exam. And that's going to be super fun. And don't forget about your pocket prep link right there too. So super helpful. If you ever do purchase my notes from my shop, those book prep videos that go along with it are super helpful to understand what the heck did I buy and why is she making these notes. I explain what I'm doing and why I'm doing it in those book prep videos on that website too, so that's super helpful on the YouTube channel. All right, what did you guys get for that answer? Did everybody get A for that one? Okay, y'all work on this one while I catch up with chat. Who was that? Linda Lou? Thank you for subscribing to the YouTube channel. I hope you find it super helpful. You can turn the volume off and don't even listen to me on some of those workshop videos and see if you can't get the exam question correct on your own. Give yourself like 2 minutes per question, pause the screen, go find the codes, see if you can't pick out the answer, and then release the video and see if you got it right. That is super helpful practice. Practicing as many practice questions as you can find is super helpful. What do you guys think is the answer for this one? Would we times 2 a 94, a 96, or 95? So if you know my little trick in this area, if you have a 94, which I'm talking about the second and the third digits in these available answers, just these, they have a meaning. 94 means you had a natural, or probably a word I can't say on these videos, but you had a natural delivery, right? If you had a 95, you had your first C-section. If you have a 96, that means you had a C-section prior on a prior pregnancy. And today you're coming in and you might try it a natural way, but you may end up having another C-section. But either way, you still had a prior C-section on a prior pregnancy. So knowing those meanings helps out really easily. You've got two that are all natural. And then one that's got two codes, natural and C-section. What did we have? We had a natural and a C-section because we got two babies. Now you just need to know the order of operation. Would we do a 9-5 first, or would we do the 9-4 first because it was the first baby delivered? The second baby was the C-section. And that's tied to a guideline question. You always bill for the more extensive procedure done to that patient that day. It may have been the last thing you did, but you always code the more extensive procedure first. So they were just testing you to see if you knew that particular guideline. What do you guys think is the answer to this one? Oh, you're so welcome, Jessica. I hope this helps out a whole bunch. That's awesome. Now you'll have plenty of practice questions to do. Tons and tons. I'm going to work on prepping the questions for our workshop on the 20th all weekend. So if you guys are on TikTok, I'll be streaming live pocket prep questions if you guys want to practice while listening to probably Harry Potter or I don't know. I got a lot of audiobooks on Audible that I like listening to while I work. So if you guys want to work with me, y'all could come over to TikTok and we'll be streaming those. I can't post them onto YouTube because of the Harry Potter content, but if y'all want to practice questions this weekend with me while I'm working. Lots of different guidelines with these. If you know your patterns for these codes, you will always have your first code with a modifier 50, and then your second code will always be times. That pattern is a known pattern that will always be. You will never times your first code. So you know you can get rid of A and B with these. The only ones with the correct pattern is C and D, and then you don't ever add radiology to something. You know, if that's ever an option by adding extra codes, don't ever do that. Pick the answer that's got the least amount of codes without adding radiology or integumentary with it. Yep. Pretty much bank on that. It's not always the case, but more times than not. And it's a safe bet. If this had said ultrasound, you would have added a T code to it, actually, which is a category 3 code in the back of the book. But anyway, kind of neat. You guys do minutes for anesthesia time. Turn it off, Travis.
It's not with your ghost.
It didn't sound like Ghost. Sound like a bunch of huffing and puffing. Oh, I'm sorry, go-kart. That's got to be terrible without any electricity. Be sure to go to the AAPC website. Fill out that disaster thing. See if they give you anything back. I don't know what, but fill it out. Yes, C ends up being this one. The more expensive or the bigger number procedure actually on this one. Good job. You don't have to worry about the 26 modifier. It's on everything. Do you happen to need 2 CPT codes, 2 diagnosis, 1 CPT code, 2 diagnosis, 2 CPTs, 2 diagnoses, 1 CPT, and 2 diagnoses. What was the patient diagnosed with? What procedure did they do? They did something without contrast, and then they followed with contrast. A lot of times, the O in the 5th digit in radiology means no contrast. The 2 equals with contrast, and then the 3 equals without and with. A little pattern that's in a lot of radiology, and knowing that pattern can help you answer these questions without even opening a book. You just look for the 5th digit to do the with and without. Yeah, that's a good tip. Yep. No Wi-Fi, no power. Oh my gosh. Had to throw away all the food. Uprooted trees. Goodness gracious. Diane's giving you a number to call too. I know there's another one for you did it over the phone. Okay, good. Be sure to do the one for AAPC. AAPC has a disaster relief one too. Any exams you had scheduled, you can get those reposted or renewed, or not cost you anything, I'm sure, to reschedule. But also, they have a fund, a disaster relief fund of some sort. If your books got ruined in the rain and water, you can get them to replace them, that kind of stuff. If your computer got rained or watered on, your electronic devices, They'll replace that stuff. I'm assuming that's the kind of stuff that they would replace. Your desk got ruined, your chair from home, your Wi-Fi internet, your modem, all that stuff that got ruined that you need to be able to work and to take your certification exam. That's what their disaster relief fund, I'm assuming, would replace. So fill it all out. You know, you had one of those lift desks, you had ergonomic chair, you know, all that stuff. Your anti-bed sore cushion on your chair. All that stuff. Your book, Lazy Susan thing. Your book bag that holds all your books. Your little pull behind little cart that holds all your books. All that kind of stuff. Your lamps. Lord knows we pay enough in membership fees and stuff that, you know, anything that can help, let it help. What about the answer for this one? We've got two with the answer 66, one without an extra number. What's our differences between the 5, 6, and 7? The only thing I kind of know in this area is that if it's an even number, it's more likely to be bilateral than it is to be singular. The odd numbers are more likely to be unilateral codes. So what did the patient come in for today? She's only dealing with one side of the left breast. So looking at these, I know it'd probably be the 5 or the 7. So, because it needs to be an odd number, because bilaterally usually ends up being the even numbers. So if I was just doing these two, well, the cheapest one is B. So that's how I would come up with this one. What do you guys think? You're welcome, Go-Kart. Go charge your phone before you lose it and you need it. She probably has to drive all the way off or walk somewhere to find a place with electricity to charge. That's crazy. Be sure and take any tablets or laptops. If you charge them also with your cell phone, you can use your laptop as a brick to charge your cell phone when you're not around a charging place. You can, keep it off, of course, and it's fully charged, your laptop or Chromebook or whatever. But then when your cell phone gets low in battery, you can turn your Chromebook on, plug your device in, and it'll charge your cell phone for you. Well, Miss Linda, hopefully you don't have to buy none of them, hon. And where to start with my videos? You got it. Hopefully you don't have to buy any of them. I like for people to try to make their notes themselves. So if you go to my website and at medicalcodingbyjen.com and you go to the resources tab, go to the CPT book prep page. This will give you 8 pictures with the instructions on what to do. Go through your CPT book. Do everything I have listed here. Here's your anatomy, what to do there, and then what to do with the ICD-10 book. Make your own notes. I got 10,000 videos out there of a million things. You can watch my lives today even. I was showing off my notes during the live. The YouTube channel has a million videos. You can watch my books, pause the screen when you see my notes, and then make your own notes. If by chance you don't pass your exam, that's when you would come back and purchase exam notes just in the areas of where you did really super low in, that you might need them. Hopefully you don't need them all. If you do want them all and just, I have a time crunch, I got to get this done before December, I don't have time to research all this and go through your videos and do all this on my own, and you do want all of them or something, I do have a bundle, but you can do it on Afterpay or Alipay or whatever, that will get you all of them if you want them all. But, you know, I really prefer you not to have to do it. What is super helpful is the flashcards for E&M. It teaches you what the headers are for every one of the E&M codes that are important for the exam. That way you get those answered a lot better and faster and with more confidence than just trying to do it by looking up the CPT code descriptors during your exam. Knowing what your headers are on all the E&M questions is super helpful. If you had to pick the top 3 notes that are the most beneficial to everybody, cardiovascular, right there, really good because it includes Appendix L. The nervous system, because it is super crazy, and then the E&M notes, which are right here. So those 3 are the best as far as the most helpful, but you know, hopefully you can just watch my videos. I've got in the resources tab, I've got book prep videos right there. That's the digestive system. You can watch for totally free if you don't have the YouTube membership. There's 3 videos right there that show you how to make the anatomy. And I go from code to code making the notes. And you can watch me right here. I'm not creating a new wheel. You guys can do this too. It just takes time. But you can make your own notes with my resources, totally free, hopefully. I have a free practice area right here under practice area that has practice exam questions. You can click on that and go there, and you can just click on an answer, and then it'll tell you whether you got it right or wrong. Got a whole bunch of questions and answers there. I have some flashcards. There's a trivia thing that you can do. These flashcards you can do for practice. If you don't want to purchase the E&M flashcards, these are free. You can go through them, leave the program after you've done all 3 sets, and then come back to the program, and then you can redo them over and over again. That way you get to see them multiple times. But there's the flashcards right there for free. You can download this PDF for the cardiovascular PowerPoint presentation. It's interactive. It'll fill in the blanks for you, but you can also learn from it. You can download these flashcards direct to your computer right here for the acronyms, which I have listed right here, but those will download if you click on that for free. You can go to the shared gallery, which is this picture link right there. It's totally free for everybody. Also, it's got some of my very best photographs right here. In fact, I need to add some more. Let's see, where is my... pictures and my screenshots, and I can add that one right there. So see, you can see me adding more, but these are my very favorite pictures of all kinds of stuff, including hard stuff like Twinkle added this one with how to do the angiographs and arterial graphs. Somebody was asking me about that today. Super helpful. I've got how do you keep your books from unraveling? What do you use to carry your books around in? What's your favorite book for CRC study? How do you get an extra hour to take your exam? How did you get your apprenticeship taken off? All that's located here too. What pens do I use? What do I use to carry my books around in? What webcam did I use? All kinds of stuff. There's all kinds of stuff on here. What questions are on the exam? Everything. There's all kinds of stuff here that's super free. Don't forget to go to the blog. It is full of free practice exam questions also. Like this one's full of my surgeries and how to do them, and my notes are right there. I got E&M, a 9-chapter E&M book right there on the elements of MDM and how to do them with practice exam questions in all these kind of blogs. So there's spinal surgeries. We'll have some practice exam questions too. So all this is free. Be sure to check it out. And the Discord study group, can't tell you how helpful that is if you learn how to use Discord. If you come here, this Join Now button, that's the one you click after you've already set up and downloaded the Discord app on whatever device. Then you just click on this Join Now, and then that'll toss you into our Discord study group. That is super helpful. That has all those practice exam question rooms. I've got a listing of it right here under the FAQs where you get to see screenshots of what it looks like. We have 145 members on right now, but normally there's like 10,000 people that have signed up for it. But there's always somebody in here that it can answer your questions. This is what Discord is, how to set up an account, and this is what it looks like when you get inside. We have a main chat room, and then all these other little hashtags are extra bonus rooms. And we have practice exam questions, study buddies, job resources, anatomy area, sell your book area, all kinds of stuff over here. Super helpful. I can't answer everybody's emails, social media posts. I'm just one little old lady on the internet, so I don't have anybody. I'm not a business as far as people hired and working for me to answer stuff. So it's just me alone. And I do have 3 sons, my mom living here, and I'm not working full time anymore except for you guys, but I just can't answer everybody's questions personally. But I do workshops and tutoring, and I even have one set of tutoring, like if you just want to schedule a one-on-one and have a conversation with me and ask advice, I even have that available if you want to. So totally up to you guys, but the best way to get a hold of me is, of course, to come into chat and just ask your questions while we're here, because I do teach for free. I try to do 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, 4:15 every day, Arizona time zone. So super helpful. I think I even have over here in the shared gallery the time zones, so you know what time zone it is in your area, because I can't keep up with everybody's time zones. But hopefully that is helpful over there in the shared gallery. But hopefully you don't have to buy any notes, and hopefully you can watch all my free videos, and hopefully you can win a YouTube membership, and hopefully you never have to spend a dime on me. You can just do all this without spending any money. And because I know your membership fee with AHIMA, your exam attempt price, and your books are enough expense as it is nowadays. That's just enough. Plus you need pens and highlighters, and you know, you've got enough to spend your money on. But AHIMA people too, don't forget, you can join Pocket Prep. It's $15 to access 750 practice exam questions. They do work for AHIMA too. They just don't cover PCS, but they work for everything else. They're great. So use our link. It's super helpful. And if you ever thought about doing Mint Mobile, I got links for it too. I did switch from Verizon to Mint Mobile when I quit my job to stay home with you guys full time the 1st of June. And I had to lower my expenses because this first time I haven't had a job since I was 14 years old. And that's a scary prospect. But now I'm in my almost 60s, so I need to lower my monthly expenses. So Verizon was a big one at $240 something a month for 2 lines, and I actually have 4 people that need to be on a phone plan, but the prospect of putting them all on Verizon was just no way. So I switched over to Mint, and it literally is $15 a month, and I get unlimited, as much data as I want. I have and better service. Oh my gosh, I got better service on Mint. I love it. So anyway, promise it's worth getting. And they don't let anybody have a link to their. They don't pay any money for advertising. So use my link. You're perfectly fine to use my link and do Mint Mobile. The trick is you prepay your monthly service. So if you want to do 3 months at a time, you pay $15 times 3 is $45 or whatever it is. And that's why they keep their
Sherry
stuff
Williams has become a member.
low, is because everybody prepays for service. So you do that with Verizon anyway, but you only do it 1 month at a time, right? Basically, I guess. Anyway, Mint Mobile's great. When I get through with this intro period for the first 3 months, I'm going to go on and buy a whole year. And that way, it's only like $275, but I'll have a whole year prepaid for 1 line. And that's practically the cost of 1 month of Verizon. So I'm excited and love the service. I've been streaming YouTube videos in the Tesla, my son's car, during the boys' dance for 3 hours using Mint Mobile. It literally, and that's at their high school where they have the cell phone blockers, where they're not allowed to use cell phones. I'm just shocked. Verizon could never. Anyway, love it. Anyway, I got a workshop coming up October the 20th. If y'all want to do that with me, that's lovely. But hopefully you don't have to buy any notes from me. That would be the best. But if you do want notes, cardiovascular, nervous is great, and E&M. Sherry, thanks for joining the YouTube club. I hope those videos help you out a whole bunch. Where do you find the 750 questions? Okay. So, you're back on my website. You go to Pocket Prep. You'll go to Medical. And then you'll go to CPC, AAPC, right there. And then this is where they have all 18 subjects of the CPC exam. It's okay if it's CRC, but right here is where you purchase it. You can do 1 month, or you can do 3 months for $40. If you do the 3 months for $40, you get the pass guarantee. And if you don't pass your exam, then they'll give you 3 more months for free. So really cool. You can try 30 questions for free right there without purchasing anything. But when you do sign up and do your practice exam questions on Pocket Prep, just a second, let me get back over here to the correct area because I got to be on a different browser. Right here. Okay. I am in the Pocket Prep area. Hold on, let me go back over here to the main page and go here to study. So when you're logged on to Pocket Prep and you're here on your main page, you can build an exam, you can do missed questions, the quick 10, the time, the weakest subjects, you can do the question of the day, of course. But up at the very, very tippy top, near the browser area, there's a tiny little thing that says Work, Study, Stats, and Review, way up there at the top, near the browser area. If you click the word Review, if you have already answered all 750 questions, when you click Review, all 750 will show up right here. And then you just click on one, and it'll give you the question and the rationale all on one page. Then you click the next question, and next question, so on. And all of them will be here. It's up at the tippy, tippy top near the review area. Way above everything else. And you just click on Study to find your way back to how you build an exam. Cool thing is when you build an exam, you can unclick all 18 subjects, then do the drop down menu and just pick your area. Like I only want to do integumentary right now. And then you pick that, come down to the bottom, and how many questions do you want to do? And you can switch it over to do all of the ones that they have and hit start, and then you can do that exam. Sorry guys, just a second. Get it to reformat. There we go. I don't know if y'all saw that. I hope you did. Did you guys see all that? Or not? That's the build your exam. This is the main club area. Up here at the very tippy top is where you find your review. If you've already gone through all their questions, click Review. This is where all the ones that you've done before will show up. Click on the first one. This is where you get to see the question and the rationale all in one page. And then you just scooch you down to the side, down. You can go down through all of them. Great way to copy them and get them to somewhere else in case you lose access, so you can continue to practice them. But we love Pocket Prep. It's great. Back that way. Back up here at the top, Study, Stats, and Review. The review area is where you find them. And then to build your own exam, click right there. Nope, we'll start a new one. Uncheck the 18, drop down menu, and then I just want to do all E&M questions. And then slide your bar over so you can pick how many you want to do. Let's do all 40. And then there they are. "55, 56 are the closest. You can skip through these questions too. You don't have to stay on the one you want. You can use the bar at the very, very top and scooch you through those questions if you want. This is the question we had earlier today. 3 of the codes are for neonates, 1 is not. 1's intensive care, 1's critical care. Our baby is in critical care unit. Sorry, I meant to click 68, not 66. But super cool. Love Pocket Prep. I've been using them well before I got sponsored, but they are truly written in the exact format as AAPC questions and CPC, or AHIMA's questions too. They just don't have the matching. Ahima has 10 questions at the end that are matching. They don't have that. Anyway, I hope this is helpful. I am going to get off here and go hang out with the boys for a minute and get some dishes done and start some laundry. I hope this is super helpful. Thanks, Linda Lou, for upgrading. If you buy the ABC Pocket Prep questions, do you have to pay every month? You can prepay for 3 months for $40, and then immediately, as soon as you prepay for the 3 months, you can go into your account up here at the top under settings, and you can cancel your subscription. Just like on my website. So if you are, let me get back over here. If you are here on my website and you want to purchase access to my membership, where I have practice exam questions too. I have a basic one that goes through E&M through diagnoses, and then I have one that's E&M all the way through the spinal area, guidelines, anatomy, and oncology, ear, nose, and throat, all that. If you want access to all of it, it's $7 a month, but you can purchase it, and then it will auto-renew if you don't cancel. But canceling is super easy. When you do sign into my website, this little bar up here where it says welcome to your medical coding family, it has a drop down menu in it right there. Just drop down menu right there, go to my subscriptions, and then click the one click that says cancel my subscription. So the day you purchase it, go on in here and hit cancel subscription. You'll have access to the practice exam question area for 5 weeks, because I leave it on a whole week after it gets canceled without payment. And then that way nothing gets auto-renewed. But you can do that with Pocket Prep too. The practice exam question area on my website just has extra bonus practice questions that I've written that you just click on the answer. It'll tell you the rationale. Nothing fancy. It won't grade or anything, tell you how, what your grade is, but you can keep up with how many you got wrong or right. But super cool practice exam question area. There's even bonus anatomy parts and other helpful stuff. A lot of the areas have bonus PDFs available with them, like the E&M section and integumentary have tons of stuff over here to the side that you can just download by just clicking on it. One click, it'll automatically download that thing, and you see it downloaded it right there in this particular place on my website, on my drive. Anyway, all these will download instantly. These are just bonus things that I found over the internet that could be helpful, but those are bonuses that you get with all that. Cardiovascular, integumentary, even anesthesia has bonus PDFs that you get. It's not my notes, but it's still really cool stuff. Super helpful. Those bonus question areas are always updating. I'm always changing and adding more questions to the bottom of each one of these pages. I even have an area for just HCC or risk adjustment. If you want to be a CRC person, I have a subscription for it. And then it has all on one page a ton of information on CRC and bonus questions here for all CRC. It's probably 500 or 600 questions that are just CRC and bonus material for it. So super helpful little area, and you get all these bonus stuff that you can download too for CRC. So super cool. I'll have one eventually for CPMA, and all the different certificates, CCS, PCS. I'll build some practice questions for all those areas too as the days go by. But you can view your orders, you can view your subscriptions, your rewards. Every time you purchase something from me, you get stuff free. So you can use those rewards like cash, dollar for dollar, to buy stuff for free later on. So lots of stuff here that you guys can have access to. And it's super user-friendly. I even buy from my own self just to make sure it all works right. And that it's super easy for you guys to use. So no worries. I hope this was helpful. I'll be back on Monday for sure. We'll do 2 more hours of free practice questions. And between now and then, I will be on TikTok Live, working away on the website. I'm creating I'm so ADHD, it's awful, but I'm working on a 2025 study guide. I've never been able to, in the 4 years I've been doing this, finish a whole entire study guide for the entirety of all of medical coding, like everything, HIP PICS, CPT, ICD-10. It won't have PCS in it, but I'm working through it. I'm trying to finish this stupid study guide. But what it is it'll take like a study guide, but put it in like PowerPoint, the most important information listed, like the area, like the business of medicine. If I was to understand that whole chapter that's in everybody's study guide, what's the key concepts that I need? What code sets do I need to worry about? How do I mark my differences in my notes? What's necessary to know? And study tips in that area, so that like for the area, the business, the very first thing you got to know is the hierarchy of the providers. And then I just list them out, what the hierarchy is, so that you know, and you don't have to read all these paragraphs about it. It's just bullet point. This is what you need to know. And then it'll move on. Type of payers, bullet point. This one, this one, this one. What does this payer do? What does this, which ones are the government ones? Which one is, Medicaid? Bullet point. 1 sentence answers, so that it's not paragraphs. I hate reading books, but I love getting the details that I need. So, that kind of stuff. Anyway, that's what I'm working on. And one of these days, I'm going to finish a freaking study guide for that. But I got to work on the 75 questions for this week's or this month's workshop. And I've been doing workshops for a couple of years now, but I have to make sure that every workshop has brand new questions, because I don't want y'all having multiple of the same things. So I gotta do that too. So those are the 2 major things on my plate. But I'll be over there on TikTok if you guys want to come hang out while I work. What was the answer for the mammogram question? Let's go look. Let me turn that off. This one right here, because we got just the left. You remember that usually the odd numbers are unilateral. The even numbers are usually bilateral. I think it's going to be one of the odd numbers. And then I'm just picking the cheapest one, which is B. And there you go. It is B. The sun's going down. It's getting dark in here now. You can tell my book is pretty dark. Playing around with these questions and seeing patterns and then seeing if you can get them right without opening a book is super helpful, because during the exam, if you take more of a back seat overview of the questions instead of micromanaging these questions where you read every single word and then you look up every single descriptor, but you forget about your headers, you forget about patterns. You're going to drive yourself crazy and you're not going to get through the exam in time too. So backing up and looking at it from a helicopter point of view is easier, I think. Anyway, guys, I will see you guys back on Monday, but if not, I'll see you on TikTok, I hope. I hope this is helpful. You're very welcome. Love you guys. I'm so proud of you guys.